Radio Raheem here in El Paso, Texas, of all places, with Robert Garcia, man. The whole camp's down here. It seemed like an upbeat, positive attitude there at the press conference. You had Robert Garcia, yourself, and Nacho Beristain on the stage, Julio Cesar Chavez, senior and junior. There's a lot of Mexican heavyweights, if you will, heavyweights in the sport of boxing on that stage today. How did you feel about this being your first fight with Chavez, and are you confident in the camp that you've had?
I feel great. I'm very confident in the camp. Julio did what he was supposed to do, and going in against one of my former fighters and against a legend like Nacho Beristain, it also motivates us to do even better.
I asked Chavez Sr. about how he felt, considering that Junior's been with a lot of trainers. He'd complained about it before, and he said that he felt better about you than anybody else, not only because of your accomplishments, but because you're Mexican, and he feels like there's a better communication there. Did that play a factor when you decided to take on Chavez Jr., and has that actualized during camp?
I think that's the most important thing in our relationship as trainer-fighter. Not only that Julio sees me as a trainer, but also as that friend, older brother type of relationship, and I think all that is something that's going to benefit him, and I think that's what he needed. His former trainers can't take nothing away from Joe Guzman, great trainer, and obviously Fred Roach, if not the best, one of the best in history. So it's not that the trainers are not good or not doing their job. It's just that I think the communication was a big problem with Julio coming to me. It's not only about good communication, but also getting him to believe in me, making him knowing what he wants, what he likes, and what he doesn't like. Know him personally a little bit better, and not just in the gym. Get to know him better. Things that he likes, things that he doesn't like, get him to do stuff with my family, go play soccer with my kids, spend 4th of July with the family, all that I think has a lot to do with him feeling a little more comfortable and better training with me.
In the Fonfara fight, it was publicized that he chose that fight. His father objected. Knowing his style, knowing what his tools are that are effective in the ring, are you going to play a role at all in selection of opponents? Do you think that that's important? Look,
what I told Julio and the whole team is that I can't do a big change in just one fight. I told them, give me 3 or 4 fights before we even talk about any big names, because I want to concentrate on teaching him and getting him better. And they agreed. They agreed. They want to keep him busy this year. If I'm not mistaken, not looking past Reyes, but they're looking at 2 fights before the end of the year after this one. So 3 fights before the end of the year, and that's just to keep him busy. And the main thing is to keep him in the gym with me. After this fight, a week or so, and back in the gym, because I want him to continue where we left off. We prepared ourselves not just to beat El Dorado Reyes, but also to prepare him for the future fights, and just to teach him and get him used to my style of training and what I want to see from him.
You talked about the connection, obviously the Mexican connection and the communication with Chavez, but there is no greater connection you're going to have to any fighter that steps in the ring than you do with Mikey Garcia. And we've all been kind of wondering what's going to come of that. For a minute there, it seemed like maybe he was even retired, or he decided to step out of the game. Now he says he wants to step back in, and Crawford seems to be calling him out. Can you update us on what the situation is with Mikey?
Mikey's still going on with his legal problems, and that's something that his attorneys are handling, and they're going back and forth. The way it looks, I said it early this year that it looked like something was going to happen soon. We're already in July and still nothing happening, so I can't say it's going to happen within the next month or so, but it looks like things are getting better, so hopefully we'll know something soon. Mikey's in the gym, Mikey's training, he's sparring with the rest of my guys in the gym, helping them prepare for the fight, so he's in shape, and he knows that if it comes soon, he's going to be ready to fight and not have to wait another 4 to 5 months before he fights. When all this gets done and clear, he'll be ready to fight in a month and a half. Because he's been in the gym. So that's all we're waiting for. Mikey's not frustrated. Like people might think. I think Mikey just needed some time off also, personal things that he likes to do that now he's doing. He's been doing for the past year. So I think it was probably a good idea. Nothing that it's not like we wanted him to take some time out, but I think things happen for a reason, and he's going to come up stronger and better when he comes back.
I mean, you know him better than anyone else. Do you sense that fire in his belly? I mean, he's a smart guy. He's got other options. It's not like he has to box, right? Is it something that he needs to do? Is it something that like gets him up in the morning, like, you know what, I need to get back in the ring? Or is it just something that he can do?
Look, right now it's something that he needs to do it because that's the way I see it in him. He's showing, like I told you earlier, he's showing up to the gym. He's sparring. He's training every day. He's running in the mornings. So it's something that came from him. Maybe a year ago when maybe he wanted just some time off, but now he's back in the gym. He shows up, trains every day, wakes up and runs. So that's something that he wants to do. It's not something that me or my dad or anybody else are pushing him to do. It's something that he wants to do, and he knows. He sees all these guys. Terence Crawford become a superstar. He sees all these big fights happening, and right now he's pretty much, his name is not being mentioned when it comes to fighting because people don't even know if he's ever fighting again. So he wants to get back in the mix, and it'll just take a fight or two before he's up there again. Because Mikey's, not just he's my brother, but he's probably one of the most talented fighters in the world right now. So when he gets back, it'll take 1 or 2 fights, and he'll be back in the mix with all those big names.
Well, a name that does still come up, but we're not sure how much he wants to fight, is Marcos Maidana. He's made a superstar out of himself, but you know how the internet is. We've seen pictures of him looking like maybe a light heavyweight now. What is Marcos Maidana's mindset when it comes to the fight game, and are you guys still in communication like that on a regular basis?
Look, I don't talk to Marcos Maidana. Who I talk to is his manager, Sebastian Contursi. After his last fight, I told Maidana, take some time off, rest, enjoy your 3 big fights, because he had 3 big fights within 9 months. Broner, and Mayweather twice, and that happened in 9 months. So we clearly made agreed to take some time off. We told him, rest, as long as you want, and it's almost a year, and it looks like he's still resting. He's still resting. But hey, I don't blame him. He killed himself in those 3 fights. He trained hard. He had some great win against Broner, and then a great fight against Mayweather, the first fight, and then the second fight again. They were huge. He made a lot of money. He's comfortable. I don't blame him. I think he should have at least taken care of his weight a little more. Running in the morning, stuff like that. But I don't blame him. He's at home enjoying life. He just got married. He's got a newborn. So I think he earned that time off. When he comes back, it won't be easy, because if he gained that much weight, it won't be easy. But it'll take another 3 to 4 months just to get the weight off. But I don't see him wanting to fight anytime soon anyway. So we're just waiting to see what he decides to do.
That was my follow-up, because he's proven that he's a hard worker. He trains, relentless. But he's not a young fighter anymore. He's not a spring chicken, as they say. Putting on that kind of weight, taking this kind of time off, do you feel like there's a window of opportunity that could close? Like, how long does he have to be on vacation before it's a permanent one?
Look, at his age and at the stage where he's at, he needs to do something soon, because the longer he waits, the more weight he's going to gain, and the less people are going to remember him. Even now, we're going on a year since his last fight, he became a superstar. Everybody still asks for him. Everybody still wants to see him fight. There was a few fights there that were on the table for him, and he just didn't feel, he didn't want to take. That were nice fights for real good money, but he just wanted to take some time off, enjoy his family. Like I told you earlier, I don't blame him. He had some 3 tough fights, and he wanted some time off, but he needs to make a decision soon, because the longer it takes, the harder it's going to be.
And lastly, Robert, obviously you planted your flag in Oxnard. You're a legend there. Your gym is a landmark. And now you've opened up a second gym in Riverside, which is notable because it seems like you've chosen now two communities that are, off the beaten path where you might find talent. Are you considering these like your farm teams, your places where you can get these kids out of the streets that are really hard heavy hitting fighters? And then secondly, with the name and reputation you have now, the money that you've made, you could have, a gym in some premier area where you maybe have actors and all these kind of people coming to your gym instead. Why did you make the decision that you did, and how's it turning out for you right now?
For me, it's more about helping out all those kids that need help, that need to get out of the streets. I was one of them at one time, and the city of Oxnard opened up the doors for me and my dad to run the local gym in Oxnard and have 50, 60 kids every day and not being in the streets. We've seen it all. Friends of mine that were training when we were kids that are now doing life in prison, or others are dead, others are addicted to drugs. I've seen it all. God bless me to be able to do something good for the community. So that's why I have my gym in Oxnard. Now that I opened up my gym in Riverside, I'm planning to do the same thing. I could have easily moved to Riverside and closed down the one in Oxnard, but what am I going to do with 200 kids that go there every day, Monday through Friday after schools? I can't do that. I have to give back to the community. The gym is so popular where kids come in and out every day. I got a lot of friends of mine helping me out. I have people that I pay, so I have to keep it open. Just the fact that I lived it when I was young. So now I truly believe I have to give it back. Same thing's going on in Riverside. We're doing the same thing. My gym is there. Training camps will be there for some of my fighters, but I'm also going to have kids go in there, and I'm still going to have training camps in Oxnard. It depends on which fighter it is. I'm also just about next week or so going to open up a gym in San Antonio, Texas. So it looks like we're expanding, and we're looking at places where the neighborhoods need help. I think with my name and the success that I've had, we get kids from San Antonio, from the bad neighborhoods, to join the gym, and at least they're not in the streets risking getting in trouble with the law or drugs or gangs, all that. So it's just something that I feel I need to do, and I want to do.
Well, that's commendable, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Robert. Thank you for the time. Radio Raheem with Robert Garcia.